I'm Mike Robinson, hunter and chef. I gather the best wild food of Great Britain and serve it in my award-winning restaurants. Many focused hours as a hunter give me the very best ingredients. So now, I'm going to guide you into the craft, skill, kit and wizardry that will turn those raw materials into masterpieces. This Wild Game Masterclass is brought to you by Vortex Optics, Hornady, Traeger and Savage. Okay, John, are we ready?
Yeah.
Rolling out.
Right, let's go. Wild Game Masterclass, herb-crusted rack of wild fallow deer with stuffed cabbage, green sauce, Brussels sprouts and butternut squash puree. Right, John, beautiful saddle here, or best end, actually.
End, yeah.
We call this the best end because it's literally the best end. The saddle's on the back of it, leading up to the neck, the racks. We're going to do a bit of butchery. What do you think's so special about a rack? Why do we love racks so much?
A bit of theatre, you know, it's on the bone, nice eye that's beautifully pink, those lovely, beautiful cutlets with each individual bone. It's just a really nice way to showcase your deer.
We're going to make a herb crust for our rack, classic restauranty stuff.
Just white, simple bread. We blitz that up, we put lots of parsley through it, chives.
The mustard.
A little bit of mustard, and then butter, and then we roll it between paper, nice and green and flat, and when you cut each piece, have a nice green crust on it.
We're going to do beautiful stuffed cabbage, choux farci. I'm going to make a little mix. Here's a heart of a fallow deer I shot yesterday. Going to mix that with some ground venison, some bacon, some prunes, some onions, some garlic, some parsley. Wrap them in these leaves, poach them and then finish them off. Delicious. Also, butternut squash. We're going to make a gorgeous puree out of that, like mashed potato, but less carbs. It's all going to be amazing. But a dish like this doesn't start here in our development kitchen. A dish like this starts in the cold, wet woods and fields, hunting those pesky fallow deer. Back in my development kitchen, and it's time for my first chef's tip. Consider your timings.
You go squash first?
Yeah, I better get the squash on. Now, our squash is going to take about an hour and 20 minutes in the Traeger. I'm going to just split it, scoop the seeds out of my butternuts, and then we're going to rub it with some olive oil, wrap them in foil, put them in the Traeger. I'm only putting foil on them so they don't dry out. They'll still take on a smoky flavour. So while those soften up in the Traeger, it's over to John for some butchery tips.
Start by running my knife 3 or 4 times down each side.
This is the thing about butchery. It's not hard, you've got to be confident. And if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. So each of these rib bones, a lot of people don't realise this. You can see how they move? That's so the animal can breathe. Each individual bone is in its own little capsule. And John is now going to pop them apart.
Like that, you see? That just exposes them, and that gives me something to work with. And I'll go around this side. I'll do the same there. There we go.
Now you're going to cut down the back.
Down here. Just going to go gently all the way through to the backbone there.
All we're leaving on here is a little bit of bone. So you're going to have to cleaver it.
Yep. And I'm just knocking away where the bones were. And then with your butcher's knife, get back in and gently take that away. You see that?
Very nicely.
And that's it.
I bought this when I was on a fishing trip for fishing the wild in Madagascar. And there was a bloke wandering down the street at night selling baskets of these things. And I saw this one and I just thought, that's just got me all over it. And what I like is the handle
Yeah,
here
it's really nice.
gives you a counterweight.
Yeah.
So I bought it just for this. And I really recommend you get a nice sharp butcher's cleaver. But it's designed to have a blade like that, so it will go through bone without chipping, not a very fine blade like that, which will chip.
A sharp cleaver, really.
That cleaver's amazing.
It really is. Obviously each bone comes down and the bone ends here. In between you've got another piece of bone, it's called chiming. And you want to remove all the chine bones. If you leave them in, when you try and carve, you'll just get resistance because you'll have bits of bone in between your chops or your cutlets. So what we want to do there, we want to make a mark there. And then we go to the other side, and so the same distance there, and there we know we can run to our other mark.
You should feel your knife running along the bones.
Yeah, so like that. And then we're just going to Nice and tight. The tighter you run to the bone now, the less work you have to do cleaning, if you know what I mean.
Gosh, I love a rack of venison.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's just a lovely thing.
Next chef's tip, French trimming. Cleaning the sinew and muscle away from the rib bones to give your rack a well-presented, professional appeal.
It's like anything in life, you know, the first time you do it, it's a slow process, and the more you do anything, you know, the quicker you're going to get.
Lovely.
Get a nice, clean bone, you know what I mean?
Aesthetics, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't have to do that, but on a plate like that, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it, you know? If you're just roasting this straight, you can leave it with this cover on, you know what I mean, to protect it and it'll roast up nicely. But because we're going to make a nice green crust, we're going to go straight on to the eye of the meat, as you can see here.
You're going to trim off the...
silver skin's going to come off, yeah. And we'll clean up the bones, and then we'll be there.
While you're doing that, John, I'm going to start our stuffing. This is for our choux farci. Nice fine onion. I just want the sweet white centre of the onion. I'll grate some garlic in there.
Yeah, lovely.
It needs to be quite flavoursome and punchy. Here we are. Garlic, gorgeous. Next, we've got beautiful smoked bacon. So choux farci is this classic old French thing, which is, it's really smart actually. It just means stuffed cabbage, literally. Choux is cabbage, farci is stuffed. I'm going to blend up the bacon. There we go, lovely. Look at that, John.
Oh, very nice.
That'll work. Now I've got a good ground, high quality venison mince, fallow deer. That's 1 pound of venison, sea salt. Loads of pepper, beautiful. I'm going to finely chop some rosemary, which I just picked from the garden. Not too much, because it's a very powerful herb. Now, do you want to pass me that heart? Right, this is going to be messy. So this heart is a bit bloody, but that's because I shot it yesterday afternoon. So I'm going to take the bottom half of the heart. That'll do me. Just gorgeous. But now, just make sure there's no big clots. I want the meat without all the blood, like that. I'm going to throw heart in the mincer as well. Immaculate. And now I'm going to throw the prunes in. And these will make it sweet and amazing. This is looking good. I'm going to get some gloves on mix.
Yeah.
This is going to be very sweet, very meaty.
The prunes counterbalance the ironiness of it, you know?
Yeah.
You wait all year for these few days. The routine. The challenge. When it counts, you trust us, and we deliver. Every time. You're built to take on anything. And so are we.
So John has butchered and French trimmed the racks. And for our choux farci, or stuffed cabbage, I have mixed the farce meat, which is now ready for the pan.
We'll get some butter going on. Right, I'm going to cook that out for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What are you doing then, John?
Got a nice Savoy cabbage, and these are the best cabbage for this. Take very little of the root off, and just literally these outside leaves.
As big as you can.
Yeah. We're just going to blanch them. Blanching them means to cook them in boiling salted water. A couple of minutes. You want to make sure it's cooked enough, because if it's not cooked enough, when you try and put the farce into the bowl,
100%.
the cabbage will just come apart. If you know, it won't hold its shape as a nice round. So that can be the problem if you don't blanch it enough. Straight into a bath of ice water. That will stop the cooking process, but it will also shock the leaves so we keep a nice, vibrant green colour.
My stuffing mix has cooked down nicely, everything's browned, it looks great. I'm going to add a nice splash of red wine. And then once you've added wine to something, you want to just let it cook off for a minute or two, and all the alcohol will evaporate. And we'll be left with the flavour of the wine, that's important. Now here I've got this lovely beef stock. You can see it's slightly jellied. There we go. So now what we're going to do is allow this mixture to cook right down until it's juicy but really sticky.
Next up, our Brussels sprouts accompaniment, which is dead easy to assemble. Lightly fry up some bacon lardons, sliced garlic and chopped prunes in a pan, and toss in the sliced sprouts.
I've got lots of butter in there, tiny little bit of water. The water will evaporate away and it will be left with a buttery, delicious emulsion. Add a little bit of seasoning to it, not too much, because there's obviously salt in the bacon. There we are. It's very simple, really. Oh, this is going to be gorgeous. So this is cooked down about far enough, John. I'm going to have a little taste. Now, what I want is for this to get nice and firm, so I'm going to put our lovely mix here in the fridge, let it cool down, and let it kind of set, and all the fat will set, and that'll make it easier for us to ball it and put it inside the cabbage leaves.
Next, in the all-important prep order, is the herb crust. Start by melting down some butter, and then chop some regular white sliced bread and blitz. Add fresh parsley and tried thyme, a goodly dollop of Dijon salt and pepper, and blitz again. Once those herbs are blitzed nice and fine, add the melted butter bit by bit.
Tablespoon?
Yeah, that's about that, yeah, it should do.
And when you have a smooth mix, spread between 2 sheets of baking paper and roll it out nice and thin.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that too will benefit from the fridge chill and set, chef's tip. So, our best end of fallow has been butchered and French trimmed. Time for the next chef's tip, the sear.
Little quick sear on those.
Yeah, I'll get a bit of seasoning on them. Venison likes black pepper, and they go well. Okay. I'm actually going to do a little mixture of butter and olive oil, just it'll help prevent the butter burning. When it's properly foaming up, we'll get these on. Meanwhile, you lay it out there, John.
Just going to lay them out, just to get rid of the excess water, because the cabbage leaf's taken a bit of water on. And it's 1 leaf.
Let's do 6 balls, shall we?
Yeah.
Right then. That's what we want to hear.
This sear will get a bit of colour onto the surface of the rack before they go into the Traeger.
John, I'm just going to chop a little bit of parsley up.
What, put through the mix?
Put through the
Yeah,
mix.
that'd be nice. Freshen it up.
And you are slicing off the thick rib off the cabbage.
You got the, the root, or the rib, and that's going to cause a problem when we're trying to make a nice clean ball. So yeah, just want to take that off. So
You can see this has set in the fridge. It looks really good. And you know what? It tastes really good. Seasonings all come through. It's delicious. What size are we going to go? I would put that at about 4 ounces.
yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, egg size.
Next tip, the double cling wrap.
I'm just going to do a double layer of cling film.
Why a double layer?
I just think it's safer. Anything I do, if I'm lining terrine or anything, I always go a double layer of cling film.
And let's remind why. It's because this is going to go in boiling water.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, last thing you want to do is burst.
Right then. See if I've got them a ball size right. Good to you?
Looks about right, yeah. And then I think we're just going to take off a little bit of the excess, like so. Like you fold it in on itself like that. And then if we cut the cling film, we can use that like that.
Need a bit of string.
No, I'll just do a knot.
And then we serve it that side up.
Yeah, we can brush with melted butter, it'll shine nicely.
A little bit of sea salt.
So a little bit of sea salt in there, and that's it. Chou farci.
Lovely. Right, John.
Yeah?
Squash. It's been in the Traeger for an hour and a half. Look how soft and moist it is. So we're going to scoop a doop.
It's a beautiful way to cook the squash.
It's the best way, I think. Much less carbs than if you do potato, much healthier. So what we're going to do is add some salt to season it. White pepper, John.
So we don't see the speckles in it.
And then would you chop some chives, please, John?
Of course I can.
Right, now look what we've got here. Little knobs of butter so that they melt in while we blend it. Here we go. That butter being pulled in.
It emulsifies into it.
Yeah, beautiful. Ooh. Oh,
Great flavour.
oh man,
Great
so
flavour.
tasty. Now, butternut squash, just like any of the squash family, very, very high water content. So what we want to do is really dry it out.
So, while that simmers, we can get on with the herb crust.
Brush it with some mustard to glue it.
Yep, absolutely. This is our Dijon.
It's easier to cut the crust whilst you're still in between the paper.
Oh, I like it.
We just measure up. I'm going to need to there, and I'm going to need there. Just knock the ends off. And just a matter of taking off one bit of paper, laying it on, and that, when you cook it quite gently, just melt onto it in the Traeger.
John, that's a masterpiece. Must be happy with that.
Yeah.
Lovely. These little resting racks that we're using, you can get on Amazon. They're about $10 each, and they're just so useful. Resting meat after it's cooked, you name it. Okay, so I've got my meter here. This is such a useful thing. I'm going to shove that into the thick part of the venison all the way up to the shank, like that. That's connected to my phone, and that is going to tell me when it hits 52 degrees Celsius. That's the internal we're looking for.
This Wild Game Masterclass is brought to you by Vortex Optics. Savage. Better comes standard. Hornady. Accurate, deadly, dependable. Traeger. Taste the wood-fired difference. So, we have butternut squash simmering down. We have tidy little parcels of choux farci ready to cook. And those elegant herb-crusted racks of fallow are hot smoking away in the trusted Traeger. So, what really matters when you're cooking racks and delicate pieces of meat is internal temperature. What we're looking for here is an internal temperature of about 52 Celsius when we take it out of the Traeger. That's cooked. We'll carve this at 58. Having let it rest, it will keep rising. So the meter is critical. Internal temperature is 29 degrees Celsius. Ambient, i.e. the bottom of the inside of the tray, is 123. Lovely. While that happens, I'm now going to add some beautiful Parmesan into my butternut squash to make it creamy and nutty and cheesy, and it's going to be delicious beyond belief. See, that's thickening it up and giving it texture. It's going to have an amazing flavour profile, John.
It is.
Same as Erasmus, that one's for you. How's the mouth feel? Is it good?
Oh,
let's have a go.
A sweet and a salty Parmesan. Flavour explosion.
Do you know what? I'd eat a bowl of that.
No, you could do now.
You must try this. It is so delicious. The Parmesan's amazing. Right, done. That'll stay nice and hot. Should we put the shoes in?
Yep. So just make sure, obviously, your cling film, you've got nice knots, secure.
And put them in upwards. And I like to do enough water that it comes right the way up to the bottom of the knot.
Yeah. And don't boil it. Just a gentle simmer.
Right, John. Look at that. Internal 41.
Getting close,
We're close. 5 minutes remaining, so let's crack on. Right, this is a little sauce vierge, salsa verde, green sauce, whichever language you want to do it in. And the base for this is olive oil. Plus, I'm going to squeeze some lemon juice into this. That's lovely. That's basically olive oil and lemon juice. So it's like a warm dressing. Yeah, throw in some capers. Not too many, eh? They're salty.
Yeah.
Now some herbage. We've got parsley, we've got rosemary, mint, chives. We've got loads of beautiful stuff in here. I'll season it afterwards. Need to put some pepper in it. Okay, so this will be our green sauce. It's going to be delicious. I'm going to warm it slightly to take the edge off. All right, next. I'm going to add some chopped chives to the butternut squash, all right?
Okay.
Beautiful. I can put the rest of my green sauce.
Yeah.
Waste not, want not. I'll grate some garlic in there.
Yeah, lovely.
Turn that off now. All I wanted to do was to make this green sauce not cold. There we go. So that it won't melt the Parmesan. It'll just ooze through it. Done deal. Right, John. My meter is beeping at me like furious.
I'll go and get the racks, the Traeger.
Oh, hello. Lovely. I'm going to blowtorch them.
Yeah.
Okay, resting time.
Take some panko. Just going to fry that golden, just to cover the, give the sprouts an extra texture.
It's looking great. Right. So, John.
Yep.
That is the internal temperature. We set at 58 to carve. Thanks to the meter, we know exactly what's going on. All right, John, moment of truth. There's one.
There's one, look at that.
Immaculate, right.
Look at that.
Let's start getting this on the plate. That's my rat. Oh, that looks stunning. We've got the sprouts,
Yeah, lovely.
stuffed cabbage, the grandly named choux farci, butternut squash,
Very nice.
and we got a green sauce in the middle.
Bit of us here.
That's proper, that is. There you go, that's it.
That's it, that's beautiful.
One is happy with that.
So how do you create a feast like this? Let's rewind a bit. Timings are everything. Ingredients that need to have freshness on the plate must be prepped last of all. Which is why we chefs live and die by resting time. The time it takes cooked meat to relax properly before you should serve. Tech and kit are your friend. Be they low-tech, like my massive chopper, or high-tech, like the meter. Learn to use and trust them well. And always think about prep for presentation and prettiness, to do justice to Mother Nature's bounty. We butcher, we skin, we grellic, we bleed. We place that shot, we select our target, we work the cover, we read the terrain. The hunt doesn't stop with the shot, the hunt stops with a masterpiece on your table. Right, John, let's go in.
I think the meter's done it.
Oh,
Look at that.
I like venison, so it's cooked all the way through, but pink all the way through.
Yeah.
I know people say melt in the mouth, but that is...
That meat.
And that little crust is so tasty on top.
Yeah, you bring the real freshness.
You just don't need a gloopy brown sauce with that. Stuffed cabbage.
Flavour in here.
Thing is, this is a pretty dish, but it's also an easy dish. It's really easy. I mean, there's nothing to it, really. But all the flavours are so intense. They're so, in their own right, powerful.
Yeah.
It's great. It's often beautiful food, and that's not necessarily backed up with all the flavour and the punch.
But that.
This is.
Yeah.
Oh, yummy.